Hi everybody, my name's Tony Sanchez, and the book I chose to read this week was called Polar Bear, What Do You Hear? Author was Bill Martin Jr., and the illustrator was Eric Carle. Polar Bear was like a basic picture book. It described a bunch of different animals, and it associated the different noises that the different animals made. Well, this book was 26 pages, and the appropriate age of this book, I'd say, was probably from ages 4 to 8, and it's also a rhyme book. Each page has the same rhyme. It first starts off with the polar bear. It says, Polar Bear, what do you hear?" And throughout the book, every page has that. It just talks about a different animal. So the polar bear says, "I hear a lion roaring in my ear." So then the next page, well, first of all, that first page would have the polar bear, and then it would have the lion, and then it would say "roar" on it, and so all the kids would, roar when they're supposed to roar. And then it goes off to say, "Lion, lion, what do you hear?" And the lion gives his answer, and he says, "I hear a hippo snorting in my ear." So all the children would, of course, make the snorting sound. And throughout the book, every page kind of goes through this. Let's see here. There's a hippo, a flamingo, a zebra, a boa constrictor that hisses, an elephant is trumpeting, leopard, peacock, a walrus. For the children, it associates all the different noises with the animals, and at this age, children are, developing. They know different animals. They know different animal sounds. But this book kind of puts the two together, which is great for children at this age. Um, the interesting part is towards the end. At this point, we don't know that they're at a zoo. We're just the different animals. I kind of thought that might be in the jungle or something. But the last animal, which was the walrus, he's asked what the walrus hears, and the walrus says, "I hear a zookeeper whistling." Well, then the next page says, "Zookeeper, zookeeper, what do you hear?" And the zookeeper replies, "I hear children prowling like a lion, snorting like a hippo, fluting like a flamingo, braying like a zebra, hissing like a boa constrictor, snarling like a leopard, trumpeting like an elephant, yelping like a peacock, and bowering like a walrus." So that's pretty much the end of the story. But it's just kind of interesting that towards the end we find out that they're in the zoo, and it's these different children are going around the zoo, learning about these different animals and hearing the sounds that they make. So by the end of the story, and by the end of their visit at the zoo, they just keep repeating all the different sounds that all the different animals make. So this was very interesting. Definitely a book that I would like to have in my class, just because the students would have fun with it. It's not the best one we read this semester, but I would say it probably would be the most entertaining and the most fun to read with your students, just because, they will have a good time following along, making different animal sounds. Yeah, there wasn't much to this book, but as far as um, what we're covering these past couple of weeks, which was the illustrations and picture books. This is a real great. The picture tells a whole story. It doesn't really give the sounds and the pictures. It's something that you and the students do on your own, but definitely interesting. Really enjoyed this book. So if you have any more questions, feel free to, comment on my and my turn-in deal on Blackboard. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.